Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody, to Thursday Night Mini Healings. I'm Summer Avalon, and it is going to be a fabulous night. Although, again, technical difficulties, but this time I get an error message, and it's something that Facebook has done. So, the last few weeks, I have not gotten error messages that made any sense. This week, different error message, something with Facebook. So, how irritating is that? So, I'm only 2 minutes late, so sorry about that. But it was not really anything I could do. So, welcome. Just seeing if there's anything else I need to do on here because of it. Oh, and there's Joanne. Welcome, Joanne. I hope you're having a good evening. I was going to drop you a message and just see how you're doing the other day, but my day got away from me. So, but anyways, I was going to be outside tonight, but I just decided it's chilly. And like this morning, there was so much dew on the ground. It was cold and wet. And I thought, I don't really want to be out in the wet grass tonight. So we will just be inside. But I really, really had thought I'd be outside. It was a beautiful day. If you've seen my Facebook profile picture, that was Dexter and Duncan and Rudy. You see Rudy, the cat, he was grabbing at Duncan, or Dexter, I mean. But, yes. So we're going to do a couple things tonight. I'm going to talk, we had another full moon. We had fall equinox. And so we're going to talk, because I know a few of you are very sensitive to the moon. Oh, and there is Jane. Welcome, Jane. So we'll talk some about the full moon. It was a Pisces full moon. And then I've got some tips for working with the full moon, things do and don'ts. And then I've got a new book that's sort of cool. So we will see. Yes. So we will start with the healing pulse about 10 after. And I've got my list all ready to go. We're going to do a little something different with my healing list. Well, that's good, Joanne. I was going to ask you about that too. So that definitely good news. Welcome, Sissy. Oh, and there's Anne Marie. All right. So, Sissy, you are first on the list. Stress and anxiety. That doesn't sound good. Oh, and there's Marina. Welcome, Marina. I hope you are well as well. Yeah, I think it'll be a fun night tonight. I agree with you there, Sissy. Definitely a long week. I can understand that, Joanne. Yeah, not many people have that much time. Okay, Marina, I will add you to the list. So Joanne, should I put you down as you're going to work on patience? Or is there something else you want to work on? Everybody's really quiet. And I'm not the loudest person either. So maybe I should hum, fill up that dead space. Okay, Joanna, we'll put you down for that. Jane, I will add you. So Jane, we've got gentle listening to others. That's a nice way of phrasing that. Super. Very good. Yeah, I can't believe October is next week. Crazy, huh? I love the fall, but I dread winter so much here lately that it takes away some of my enjoyment of fall. All right, Anne Marie, strength and being more grounded. Wonderful. I will add that to yours, Joanne. Gentle listening. All right. In a minute, we will be doing the first healing pulse of the night. And so we'll start off just real simple, and then we'll go from there. Just making sure I didn't miss anybody, but I think I got everybody. Hey, Joan. Yeah, it's a little lonely over there. At some point, I hope we have a few regulars that come in on YouTube, but right now, Facebook is the place to be. For those of you who don't know it, when you're on Facebook, the YouTube chat doesn't see the Facebook chat. And when you're on YouTube, the YouTube chat does not see the Facebook chat. And I can see both chats all at once. I wish everyone could do that. Oh, it is? That's not good. I had some trouble before you came on. I was 2 minutes late because I had another error message this week, and it turns out it's actually a Facebook issue, but I had to reconnect everything. So I don't know if it didn't like that. But my error message for Facebook was that I couldn't go live 10 minutes early, and I wasn't early. I was exactly on time. So thank you for letting me know that. That's definitely just sort of weird. But I think now that I've started, the weird thing is, though, I can chat. It's allowing me to chat in YouTube, Joan. Very bizarre. Oh, we're late getting started for the Healing Pulse. So welcome, welcome. We're going to start our first Healing Pulse of the night. As usual, it'll be something fairly basic. So think about where you want to receive the energy. If it's something physical that you're working on, that's exactly where you want to send the energy. If it's something emotional, think about where you feel that emotion. Or if it's anxiety, where do you feel the anxiety? So that's where you'll want to direct the energy. And so to start, you'll want to get your energy moving. So rub your hands together until they're warm. And then place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. Next, imagine my hands are on your hands. And the most important thing is just to be open and allowing. Imagine the energy going from my hands to your hands exactly to where it needs to go. And you are absorbing and allowing the energy. And just breathe it in. So breathe in the energy deeply and breathe it out. As you're breathing it out, imagine that you've got energy that is also pulling things that don't belong. So breathe in the healing and breathe out what no longer serves you. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Okay, so that was the first healing pulse of the night. So let me know how you did with this. Got a few things that were going on with healing, and many of you are here pretty regular. So you do the healing pulse multiple times every week. So let me know if that healing pulse, if you notice any difference in it. Let me know. But otherwise, let's get started. So we're going to do one round of individual healing, and then we're going to do a little twist on the individual healing that we really haven't worked on too much at all, and I don't think I've really talked about it. And then we're going to do some work on the full moon. You know, the full moon was what? Was it Monday night? So I want to know if everyone's recovered, because I know many of you really get affected by the full moon, and especially with a Pisces full moon. From everything I'm hearing from my astrology friends, it's not always a good thing to have a full moon in Pisces. So let me know. Wonderful. Thank you, Diane. Sissy. All right, so let's see. So Joan, trusting the universe. Angels and guides. All right. Sissy, stress and anxiety. Let's see what tool we're going to use. Okay, so let's see what we've got. Self-recrimination. I think in other places it's called self-abuse, but on this list, it's self-recrimination. Let me get an age, so maybe you can put the event together with what actually happened. Let's see. Around age 28, Sissy. So I don't know if there's an event that you were not very nice to yourself about. You beat yourself up. Not good, Joan. All right, so let's release self-recrimination for Sissy. All right, so I'm getting that released, and the voids have been filled with healing energy. And that was for both stress and anxiety. Marina is working on getting a new job that she likes and pays her well. So let's see what we can do to help draw that to her. Panic. Are you worried about finding a job, Marina? Because I hope not, because that energy could affect things. Oh, Diane, sissy. That would make sense for that. All right, so let me get an age for Marina. 16. So let's get rid of that, because panic, especially under circumstances, it could trigger something more currently. So let's get rid of that. All right, so that's been released and the voids have been filled. All right. Lots of strange things going on, Anne-Marie. All right, so Joanne, patience, and then we're borrowing the words from Jane and also gentle listening. Anguish. Let's get an age on that. That definitely doesn't serve you to hang on to that. $26, Joanne. Let's release that. You are welcome, Marina. All right, so that released. And the voids have been filled. Jane, gentle listening for Jane. And it's the Tractamotive inadequate. All right, let's see what age that was. Around age 28. Let's get rid of that. All right, so that's been released. And the voids have been filled. Anne-Marie. And it's a feeling of being overloaded. Let me get an age on that for Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie had strength and more grounded. So let's release that, because that will actually make you stronger right there, is taking away that feeling of just being overloaded and overwhelmed. Very good, Joanne. Lately, when I work on someone, I'm yawning. Sometimes it's very obnoxious. I can't get a sentence out without yawning. There's been a few times. It's just a little crazy. So I don't know if I picked that up from you guys. Yes, that would make life harder if you have an inadequate trapped. All right, Anne-Marie around age 28, overload. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so that's been released and the voids have been filled. All right, Joan, trusting the universe. Thwarted. Are you thwarted with trusting the universe, maybe? Let me get an age on that. Around age 18. All right, so let's release that. I think that will help you feel more positive about attaining goals. All right, so that's been released. What time is it? So we'll do another healing pulse shortly, but the next thing I want to work on is, I think I've talked about this just a tiny bit. It's inherited trapped emotions. I don't know if you've ever met a family that everybody's just angry and it takes basically nothing to set them off. And oftentimes it's because that they have inherited through their lineage the trapped emotions of anger. And so this could go back generations. And that's why even little kids can have trigger tempers, because they've inherited it from their family. Sometimes not everyone in the whole family inherits it, but many do. And the problem with this is when you have a trapped emotion and you have a trigger temper for anger, it draws it to you more to get trapped more. So it's really a vicious cycle. So I want to talk a little bit about inherited emotions. Normally, I just pull emotions from you that are current. I don't really do any checking to see if there's anything inherited. So I thought for those of you that are interested, I have this. I've got a couple lists about inherited emotions. So I thought if you're interested, for each one of you, I would go through and see if there is an inherited emotion that we could release. And typically it does make a difference. So let me know if this interests you. Otherwise, we will jump on to the next thing. So I've got this. Yeah, so sort of a cool thing. It's not really something we've chatted about too much. Oh, and there's Valerie. All right, so I'll just go down the list. Valerie, I'm seeing if anyone is interested in looking for inherited trapped emotions. So that's what people are saying yes to. So I'm just going to see. All right, so Marina, Joanne, Joan. All right, so let's see for Marina. I think others are going to want to clear what has come up for you, Marina. It's procrastination. And so when you have inherited procrastination, you typically come from a family of procrastinators. So let me just see. I'm getting your father's. This came from your father's side. Let's see how far back it goes. So basically, I see it. Did it start with your father? And I get a no. Did it start with his parents? Yes. So was it your father's mom? No. Your father's father. So something happened that your grandpa, your dad's dad, had this trapped emotion of procrastination, and typically, some event that caused it. And it was serious enough that he passed it on. So when I clear, my goal is to clear the whole lineage. So I will clear you, and then I will clear anyone else in your family that I can. So let's just see. So I'm just setting the intention that everyone from your family is cleared. Ooh, my chat quit moving. Okay, so I'm just catching up on the chat. Good, Marina. All right, let's see. All right, so Sissy, I'm adding you too. All right, so let me check. Generally, when you're clearing like the whole family, it takes a little bit longer. So let me just make sure that everyone cleared with Marina. Yes. Okay. Joanne, you're next. So let's see what we're going to clear from you, Joanne. So this is, I guess you could call it an emotional response. It's numbness. Let me see where this came from, Joanne. So I don't know if that resonates with you, but let me just see. Mother's side didn't start with her though. So did it start with your mother's parents? No. All right. How many generations back are we going? 6 generations back. So being that you didn't know them 6 generations back, we're just going to say mother's side, 6 generations. And so let's go ahead and clear that. And the nice thing is we can clear from any aunts, uncles, cousins, because we'll just clear it from your whole family. And even your children, if they've inherited this, we can clear it from them too, and your grandkids. All right. We're going to clearing numbness from Joanne's entire family. Is anyone else having trouble hearing me? Is it just Sissy? Okay, so let me check and see. Did that clear? Yes, did it clear from everyone affected? Yes. Okay, Joanne, that has been cleared. You have to let me know if you noticed the next few days, because you'll need a few days to process it. So this is typically more intense than everything than what I typically clear. So just be aware. Okay, that's good because I don't see anything going on my screens with a problem. All right, Joan, you are next. Let's see what inherited thing you've got. Victim consciousness. Let's get rid of that because that doesn't serve anyone. And let me find out where this is coming from. Mother's side. Did it start with mom? Nope. Mother's parents? Nope. All right, let's find out how many generations back. 5 generations back on your mother's side. So this isn't something I typically would think that you have, but it's probably something, because you're very smart, that you maybe fight against the inclination. So this will make it easier to not go there. And then you can focus on other things. So let's clear this from your whole family. So Anne-Marie, do you speak French too? It's a very French city. I'm not even going to say it. Good, Joanne. Keep the yawning, releasing it, because then you're opening yourself up for more. Okay, so let's see what Joan, did that release from everyone? Yes. Okay, that release. Valerie, you are next. So I've got Valerie and Sissy next on the list. Am I missing anyone that wants to do this too? If so, just put a yes in the bottom. All right, so let's see. Oh, this is a weird one. This is the first time this has come up for someone. So Valerie, this is your inherited trapped emotion. Indignation without true cause. I think your brothers have that, Valerie. Without true cause. Let's see where they got it from. Joan, I tell you, that intuition of yours, you're getting like Jane. Ooh, we got another Diane. Welcome, Diane. All right. Anne-Marie, maybe sometime we'll have to have you come on and you could speak French as American heathens that only know one language. All right, let's see. So Valerie, mother's side, no. Definitely father's side. That isn't a surprise. Let's see where it started, though. Did it start with dad? No. All right. Dad's parents? Nope. Okay, so how many generations back? The reason I said that about Joan is she made a comment about what I pulled for the inherited about past life stuff. So I just commented that her intuition is just getting better and better, like you, Jane. Okay, so let's back on track. Sorry, squirrel. Ooh, 8 generations back. That's a long time. So let's get rid of this. So we're going to release and remove from the entire family. Okay, let's see. Did that release entirely? Did it release from everyone? Oh, what movie was Squirrel from? Was that like was it Caddyshack? So Squirrel is a reference from a movie from what, the 70s or 80s where no, it wasn't Caddyshack. That was a gopher. Does anyone remember? It's sort of the bright, shiny light syndrome where you just get so distracted that you just lose all train of thought. What movie was that? Most definitely, Valerie. So releasing from all generations, so all cousins, aunts, uncles, any children. And not everyone has it, but typically a lot do. Yep, that's the trivia question for tonight. I'll look it up and send you a link, Joanne. It's sort of a funny expression, but it fits me on a pretty regular basis where I just get distracted. Okay, so Valerie, I did get that released from your entire family who had it. All right. Sissy, do you want me to ask if you had it too? Because I'm getting you did. So that's good. But we're going to see if you have anything else that we can release. And I'm getting a yes. I think you're going to laugh at this. It's the emotion of whining. That's sort of funny. I bet you notice that in the grandkids sometimes. Let's just see. Yeah, whining. Let's see where that comes from. From your mom's side. So Valerie, you don't have whining. All right, so let's see how far back it goes. Does this start with mom? No. All right. Grandparents? No. Okay, so how many generations back from mom? 3. All right, so let's go ahead and release that. And then you'll have to be observant because especially, little kids, they don't really have a filter. So if they're going to whine, they're going to whine. And so I'm hoping that if you've got some grandkids that are extreme whiners, this will probably take it down a couple notches, but they probably have the trapped emotion of whining a few times in them already from. Okay, so let's just see. All right, did I miss anybody for inherited trapped emotions? Anybody curious? All right, did that release? That release from everyone? Yes. And so let me just double check. So usually, most people that I clear a trapped emotion, you're usually done internally healing 2 to 3 days. Oh, I'm sorry, Jane. So with the inherited trapped emotions, 5 days. So just be aware during those 5 days, you might be a little bit more sensitive. So let's do Jane. Procrastination. All right. I guess I never would have thought that might be yours, but maybe it's something that you just fight against and you're just good at not allowing it. Let's see where it came from, though. Okay, Jane? Father's sign. Let's see. Did it start with him? No. What about your grandparents? No. Okay. So how many generations back on your father's side? 7. So 7 generations back. So this is something that Joan could have too. Let's see if does Joan have this? Yes. Let's get rid of this for all of you. Oh, how did I do that? Sorry, Anne-Marie. Too busy chatting. Good thing you guys are Keeping me honest. All right. So let me just clear procrastination from Jane and her family. Yes. 7 generations back, it started, Jane. Yeah, I do find this sort of interesting because especially, well, we've got some family members on here, so you can sort of see certain sides of the family. Oh, I did not know that, Jane. All right, so let's see. Did that release from Jane? Yes. Did it release from the whole family? Yes. Okay. Keep keep an eye on it. My main suggestion to you guys is just to be observant, and especially when things are a little different. Take a pause and question. It's like, wow, I don't typically respond that way, or that's different for me. And just be aware. Well, I am glad that you are part of her soul family, Jane. Okay. Anne Marie, you are next. So this is one. I don't know if this has come up before. I don't exactly know what it is. It's called malprogramming. So I'll tell you what I think it is, and all you smart people can chime in. You are very welcome, Jane. So malprogramming is like a belief system that isn't probably correct, but your family has sort of programmed it into you that that's how it is. But let's see where this came from. Nope, Jane, that's typically different. So maybe we'll have to do another week of inherited emotions and we can work on another layer for people. I'd rather not do too much with inherited just because it's sort of an intense thing. All right, let me see with Anne Marie, what side of your family is that? Mother's side. Let's start with, so it didn't start with mom or grandparents. Let's see how many generations back. 8 generations back. Does anybody have a different understanding of malprogramming? All right, so let's release this. This will be a good one for you and your entire family to release, Anne-Marie. Good. You guys are so smart. All right, let's see. Okay. Did that release from Anne-Marie and her entire family? Yes. Okay. Wow. That was sort of interesting, wasn't it? With the generations and then the sides. But especially when you're part of that family, behaviors. Cool. All right. So let's do another healing pulse. And then we're going to talk about the full moon. So I want you to think about the full moon was what, Monday night? How many of you noticed it affected you? It was a Pisces full moon. I'm hearing that it's sort of hard on people. And I actually had a few really hard days. And so I typically am not affected by full moons. But from one of my astrology friends, all full moons are not created alike and they each have a different energy. So that is something to think about. So let's do a healing pulse, and then I will go through some tips about dealing with the full moon. And does anyone, I mean, it's been a few days. I think the last few times that I've done clearings for full moon energy, it's been really close or right on. And so I'm hoping that everybody's okay now. Yeah, and I know, like emergency people, hospitals, police, and group homes, they talk about, behaviors during the full moon that are just not typical, except during the full moon. Sort of crazy. All right. So if you are still feeling the effects of the full moon, let's imagine you use the healing pulse energy. Okay. So Sissy, just seeing if anyone else. Looks like you're the main one that's still affected. So let's work on clearing that for you. And so I want you to think about where you feel the stress and the anxiety, and especially imagine that the energy can seek out the stressors. Okay, so is everyone ready? Do you know where you're sending your energy? So rub your hands together until they're warm, and then place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. And then mainly just be open and allowing. Allow the energy in, go to where it needs to go, and work on healing it and releasing what doesn't belong. For those of you who notice a difference with breath, let's have you start with that box breath, where you do a deep breath in, hold, deep breath out, and hold. Oh, I think that'd give me a headache, Sissy. So just imagine going exactly to where it needs to go, all of you. And now I'm going to add a few little extras to your energy. Since this is moon-based, for some of you, I'm going to pull in the elements. So we'll pull in the rain and the wind and fire and air. Use air as wind, right? So this will be extra breezy. Let's do some earth. And just breathe it in. And as you're exhaling, just imagine everything releasing that isn't yours. Most definitely, Jane. Excuse me. Sure. Of course, Jane. We can do that. Okay. So that was, just our second healing pulse of the night, because we've been having fun. Okay. So a few things. Let me see. Let's talk about the full moon thing first. So here are 10 things you should and should not do during a full moon. Okay. So first I'll do the 7 things to try during a full moon. So cleanse your mental and physical space. And this helps because with the moon, there is a buildup of energy, both light and dark. And so it makes it the perfect time to cleanse your space, your body, mind, and let go of anything that's pent up that you no longer need to hold on to. Also, a really good time to smudge your house. Okay, next one. Charge your crystals. So any of you who are into stones, so stones occasionally do need to be cleansed and recharged. And especially if you can sit them in a window where the moon can reach them, this will help nourish your crystals. So it's a fabulous thing. And it also helps cleanse them of energy, because especially stones absorb energy. So like the crystals I have in my office that I use for healing, I basically can cleanse them with energy. But if I was smart, I would put them in a box and just leave them outside under the moonlight overnight. And then they'd be so cleansed and amazing. So full moons are typically about endings. And so if you've always wanted to meditate but really haven't, probably put off learning to meditate or practicing not during the full moon, but during the new moon, because that's a great place to start creating habits. Okay. Some of you will really like this one. The full moon is a perfect time to dance to release energy. You know, I had mentioned that with the full moon, the energy builds up. And so just dance it out, tear up that rug, and just let the energy flow. And the movement will make you feel good too. All right, number 5, let go of emotional baggage. And so with this, the full moon is endings. So imagine things are releasing, things that you don't need or things that you want to release. All right, so here's one that I should do. Check your to-do list. So the list that you have that you've been working on checking things off, cross off anything that you've done, but then make your new list for your new moon. And the last thing, everyone is so busy that if you can, just relax, chill, cleanse your space, your body, your mind, and kick back, especially if you're having a little dance party. Okay, so those are the 7 things to do during a full moon. Here are 3 things to avoid during a full moon. So, and I mentioned a few of these earlier. So don't rush to start something new, because again, the full moon is about endings. Mentally prepare when that new moon starts to start something new, and go ahead and make lists and preparation, but don't jump all in on a full moon for something brand new. So, and as I said, the energies are really amped up and pretty intense. So be aware and don't overreact to the little stuff, because most of the month you're your normal self. But be aware of the moon cycles and that it can make you more sensitive, and not in a reasonable way. All right, last one. Don't make any rash decisions, because especially, again, if you're all amped up, it's a full moon, and you're not quite yourself, don't make any decisions that you might regret later when your mind isn't so addled by the moon. All right, so what do you think? There's some good stuff in there. Some I may use. What do you guys think? Anything helpful in there? All right, so let's see. Nice tip there, Valerie. All right, so here's my little commercial break. I have a Reiki training coming up October 9th and 10th. It's all online. It's 2 full days. You'll get a certificate in Reiki 1 and 2, and it's the newest Reiki, Yusui Holy Fire Reiki, which is pretty amazing. I had sort of stepped away from a lot of Reiki, and I still don't use it a lot when I work on other people, but I use it on myself. And the training is not just so you can work on other people. There's a lot of self-reflection and a lot of healing that happens internally during a Reiki session and a Reiki training. So the cost is $430, and that includes the book, the certificate, and if the group is interested in doing any Reiki shares, those will be free. It just depends on if people are interested in doing that. And a Reiki share is when Reiki practitioners get together and share energy and work on each other. Also, I have a new book. I think I'm going to have to take a couple months off and just read, because I get a book in the mail and I have so many books, but they're all so cool. So this is what it's called: Spiritual Healing. And part of this is very familiar, but some of it is pretty new. Like, it's got these shapes that encourage healing. So like this, the topic on this is accepting aging gracefully. Yeah, so I need to make a copy of this. So then it's got a shape like that. So you use that in your healing. So that's really pretty interesting. And then at the beginning, so I have a few books that talk about specific causes of illnesses. This is actually a little different. So for instance, let's see, there was a couple that are like, oh, all right. So causes of specific illnesses. So I found this interesting. If you have asthma, you probably died by fire, hanging, drowning, or strangulation in a past life. That's interesting. Let's see what else. Arthritis, injustice, and stinginess. Oh, chronic fatigue. This one's interesting too. Chronic fatigue, adultery of consciousness with negative energy, addicted to negative consciousness. Wow, that's sort of an intense one. Gallbladder, bitterness causes gallstones. Epstein-Barr syndrome, shame. Epilepsy, hate of life and health abuse. Just illness in general is health abuse in past life by self or others. Oh, if you have neck issues, death by unjust hanging, beheading, anger involving wars, neck injury. Oh, if you have issues with a penis, typically if you're male, it's a misapplication of sexual energy. Huh. Varicose veins, hate of women, death caused by fire, 52%. When tortured by women, 100%. By men, 86%. Huh. Who would have thought that? So it doesn't have, it's just got a whole page. So there's not everything on here, but quite interesting about things. All right, so let's see. There's a few other things. Oh, so they've got, let's see how many there are. There are 6 things. Ooh, she knows. 6 things that are the cause of fears and phobias. And some of these are pretty straightforward. So fear of open or public places, agoraphobia. You've been killed by a mob or death in a crowd. fear of small or confined spaces, death in a small space by asphyxiation, fear of heights, falling from a high place or being pushed or thrown, fear of snakes, you died by a snake, fear of spiders, death by spiders, fear of water, death by drowning as a form of torture. Oh, so you're probably a witch, or they thought you were a witch. Very interesting, though, right? So, plus they've got a few little dowsing charts that I wouldn't normally know what to do with it, but I have been playing around with my little pendulum. Not so much for divination, but for healing. Usually I just use my hands and my intention to heal, but the pendulum is pretty helpful in healing. They don't have fear of the dark. So I wonder if we take the thought that most of these, if you have a deep fear or phobia, it's because something happened in a past life and you died that way. Yes, I think so too, Marina. Very interesting, though. Yeah, it's definitely very interesting. So this book is different than, I've got a couple other books that list reasons why, but this is different. So this is something I will be adding to my regular healing sessions. So let me know if that interests you. I know a few of you do have sessions that you've paid for, but have not used them up. So this is something we can add to your session. So let me know, but it's sort of an interesting thing. Some of my healing's really boring, but this is just sort of different and unique and makes you think about different things. So that was my long-winded commercial, but we're going to do aura protection and we're going to do the healing pulses to go. Oh, I was going to do one other thing. Oh. So Joan, this is the book that you had asked about from last week. And I did put that in the comments on YouTube. So this is Pocketful of Miracles by Joan Burcinko. It has a nice little prayer practice that it's more of a centering prayer, but you could use it even if you're not really Christian. But because of the fall equinox, I sort of like it. And we just had the fall equinox. What was that? Was it yesterday? Or was it Tuesday? So I think we'll end with this. So let's do the aura protection. So is everybody ready? So we're going to send energy to our aura. And if you want to use just your own energy, just set your intention to do that. Just making sure I didn't miss anybody. Yeah, yesterday, right? Because it's the 23rd already. And so those of you watching on the replay, we are sending healing energy to your aura. This helps repel negativity and makes you energetically stronger. And so you can use just your energy. And I do like it when you practice with just your energy. But if you want, you can pull in healing pulse energy too. You just need to set the intention. So rub your hands together and then think about where you want to receive it. So like with me, I typically go like this, but when I think about it, you could go like this where it goes back in. And just imagine you're beaming energy to your aura. And then it's just drinking in and strengthening. And as it strengthens, just imagine that it helps repel negativity around you. breathe it in. Imagine it just filling up your space. And as it does, you just feel a sense of peace the more your aura fills up. Calm. Anxiety sort of just drips away. All right. So that was our aura protection for tonight. Thank you for requesting that, Jane. It's helpful to know that things are helpful to you guys. So let's do a healing pulse to go. So you get a week's worth of healing pulses to use on your command, however you want or need them. So again, let's rub our hands together. Have fun, Joan. Bye. All right, so place your hands where you want to receive the healing. And then imagine, I wasn't too far off, was I, Anne-Marie? Yes, at 3:21. Good, Jane. Thank you for that feedback. All right, so as you're receiving the healing pulse energies, just imagine that you've got your little healing pulses to go in a baggie to access whenever you need. You can access them one after another until you get filled up, or you can do it once a day. So just breathe in the energy. Thank you, Valerie. Good to know. Okay, so just stay where you're at, sending yourself energy. And I'm just going to add a bit to it. Okay. All right. Divine Beloved, I arise with a grateful heart in this fall evening. I am ready to let go of the regrets, resentments, and unconscious acts and attitudes that separate me from you and others. I open the door of my heart and invite you in. Sweep me clean that I may wake up to the love and joy that are my own true nature. Sweep me clean so that my life can be a blessing to others and to you. And so it is. Okay, so that was it for our Thursday night mini healings. Let me know how everyone's doing. Valerie, thank you for your comments there. Jane. Wonderful. Love the feedback. Let me know if anyone has any questions. Oh, good, Jane. Yeah, it was very nice, wasn't it? Yeah, I think sometimes with life, it's just a little too crazy and it's hard just to chill and be grateful. Because especially when you're exhausted and tired, it's hard to be happy and appreciative. But no, I appreciate all of you. So I think tonight was fun. I really like that inherited thing. So I think we might have to do that again. That was sort of cool. I like that. But we'll just keep on doing what we're doing, right? So thank you. If you know of anyone that would benefit from the Thursday night mini healings, feel free to invite them. Yes, I can do that. I'll put it on. I'll put it in the comments with the video here on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll also put it on the Facebook Summer Avalon Healing Arts page, the business page. Okay, so you'll have a few places that you can find that. Does that sound good, Jane? Yep, so I will do that. Valerie, I don't think you were in the room. I started to yawn when I do sessions on other people lately. It's sort of crazy. Sometimes it's because of the app that I use to create the streaming. Joan Burcinko wrote that. And this is, gosh, it's what, 20 years old, maybe more? 1994. But it's called Pocketful of Miracles. It's prayers, meditations, and affirmations to nurture your spirit every day of the year. And it's organized by day. And so that was today's, they've got like a prayer practice. And then they've got what they call a seed thought, things to think about. But it's definitely a nice little book. Yeah, I got it in a thrift store for $1. It's a very good dollar well spent. So, and it's not so over the top Christian, because there's some Christian stuff that I just feel really judged or judgmental. But this, I think this really does a good job of just being open and allowing to anyone's beliefs, even if they aren't Christian. So yeah. Yes, it is Valerie. So I am off. Thank you, everyone. And I hope to see you guys next week. Have a good evening. Bye.